Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm meadsyreplays. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we are going to be playing and looking at the Kranvagn. The Kranvagn got a few changes from the previous update, and in overall, I do think it has made the tank a lot better. Now, the tank's always been one of those tanks that I really enjoy. I think it is a very, very good tank, but it's made better in some certain positions. Now, it's got a very, very strong turret, and of course it is the auto reloader, which I love the auto reloading system. So we're going to look at the stats, we're going to talk about the changes, and then we're going to get into some battles. So the turret standard is 225mm. So on paper, not great. But actually it is quite strong. On the hull is just 100, so yeah, the hull has got hardly no armor whatsoever. Your DPM is 2672, which for an auto reloader I think is decent, and your reload time between each shot is 2.73, so that has changed. That has actually got better. Your shell reload, the shell 1 and shell 2 have actually increased by a little bit, but shell 3 has actually gone down. So the first shot you shoot has actually gone down to just 6.48. Well over a second it's gone down. But the other two shells have actually gone up by over a second as well. So your shots between each shot, your time reload between each shot has gone down, and that first shot reload has gone down. So if you play it as a single shot gun, then it is much better. You've got 3 shells. Your penetration 263 on your APCR, 350 on your heat, and 65 on your HE. Alpha also has gone up. It has gone up ever so slightly, but it's now 410 rather than 400. The same as the heat is 350. It's gone up 10, and the high explosive is 530. So of course, if you can get out that high that HE, then it definitely is worth trying to do. Aim time 3.7, gun dispersion 0.326, and it has 9 degrees of gun depression. Your top speed is 34 kilometers per hour. Another thing I do like about the tank as well is that special speed boost, the improved engine power. It also has these as well to improve. If you want to get more hit points, you can have the sandbags as well. You do have the reticle calibration, but personally I don't use that on any tank really. You can have that on a few tanks, but overall I think the tank is still very nice. It's been a tank. It's a tank that I've loved for a very long time. It's got a couple of different camouflages as well. This Nidhogg. Be careful what I say. This Nidhogg camouflage, of course, or you've also got that Swedish camouflage with the Swedish flag. Both camouflages I think looks pretty decent. I do like the look of this camouflage. Now, when this tank was first released, actually before the tank was first released, when it was in sort of the testing stage, it was completely broken. Honestly, it was one of the most broken tier 10 tanks I think I've ever played. And it was mainly to do with the speed. It went really, really, really fast. And I managed to farm 50 aces in 50 battles with this tank during test. I aced it pretty much, well, I did ace it every single game because of how OP this tank was. Of course, it helped with nobody playing it apart from testers. But yeah, 50 games and I had 50 aces in the thing, and I had about 3.5k average damage. It was too OP, so Wargaming sort of didn't release it. They then nerfed it a bit, and then I think they even nerfed it again after the next round of testing, and then it is pretty much where we have now. So the speed, of course, you guys won't really see the speed, but the testers at the time when it was first released, honestly, this tank went so fast, but then they sort of reduced the speed, gave it the special speed boost, and then it was left as that. So if you can, with this tank, the whole really purpose of the tank is get on a ridge. You know, you've got 9 degrees of gun depression, which you really can use to your advantage. It's got a super strong turret, and again, it's got that auto reloader. So if you are on a ridge and you manage to bait a shot, you get a bounce, then you can sort of poke the ridge, and then you can sort of estimate how many shots you want to take. You can either take one shot, if you've got time, take another shot, and then you can sort of back up under the ridge again. So I think it's a fantastic tank. Again, not everybody is going to like it, because it is one of those tanks there. If you are in the open, if you're on open ground, flat ground, then sometimes you really can struggle, because the whole armor on this thing is like non-existent. You're going to get penned by literally everything. So you do have to be very, very careful when you are driving this tank. Unless you are in a hold down position, you're not going to bounce anything. So do bear that in mind. And also with the auto reloader, you have to know what you're coming up against. And that's not just with this tank, but that's the same with any auto reloading tank. If you need to look at what you're coming up against. I mean, like here, for example, if you was one-on-one with this guy, you would definitely make sure you've got at least 2 shots, because you're going to want to clear him. If you've only reloaded one shell, you're not just going to shoot him once. You're going to have to reload both shells. Now, here I am going to get very impatient, and I do take the shot on the E3. But again, what I've just said, I've totally contradicted that, because I should have actually reloaded both shells, because we could lose this. I mean, we're not going to, but we could easily lose this game. And that could be because I just didn't want to wait for that second shot. But it is what it is. We are going to win. We don't get no more damage. But yeah, it's, as I've said, I've really, really, really enjoy this tank. It is one of those tanks that I really, really do enjoy. And yeah, it's more enjoyable if you get, obviously, in certain positions. So on a ridge, if you can get on a ridge, that is where you need to be. If you can't get on a ridge, then you need to look at where you're going to play, what you're going to do, because again, your armor is that turret. You've got no armor anywhere else on this tank, so you need to try and get on a ridge as much as you can. So here, I don't want to over push it. Of course, they do have a tank destroyer that I am going to be a little bit scared of, because I'm guessing, again, on this map, they are going to be over there. But right now, I am playing a little bit aggressive. I do want to try and open the enemy up, because no one's spotted right now. I know there was a heavy here, and I know there's a tank over there, but nobody else is spotted. Where are they? So we do take a shot onto the STRVK, and then as soon as I get shot from that E3, I know that he's in that corner. Obviously, it is dead rail, and he's in a perfect position. He's the only tank destroyer up against sort of 4 heavies. That in that corner is the perfect position for him. So I'm just going to try and reset my camo. I know there is now someone at B, and as soon as he gets open up, of course, I want to focus as much as I can on that E3, because he's the only tank destroyer. He's the only one that's going to be in that corner, and as soon as I can get rid of him, or as soon as we can get rid of him, we can then start to play a little bit more aggressive. But of course, he then he goes into hiding. He resets his camo, and there's not too much we can do until he is spotted again. But then I get shot from someone else who is in the spawn area. So at the moment, a very, very frustrating battle, because, you know, I'm good on a ridge. The tank is good on a ridge, but the enemy are in positions that are not allowing me to be good on this ridge. And again, as soon as this E3 has been spotted, I've got 3 shells, 1 shell, 2 shell, and someone else must have shot him because he's now dead. And we get a stupid bounce there on the Rhinoceronte. So at least that's a few of the heavy sorted, and that is the tank destroyer sorted as well. We can then start to play a little bit more aggressive. Now, we don't have the hit points really to go up close and personal with this E100. So I just want to get a shot, run away, and then see what he can do. Again, what I love about the auto reloading tanks is you can really play them how you want to play them. You can play it as a single shotgun. You could play it as an auto reloader where you shoot 3, reload 3, or you can play it where you shoot 2, then you reload 2. It's totally up to you what you do. So here I'm just going to reload 2 because I've got available shots right now, and I'm thinking, you know what, if he's not looking at me, I might just reload more shells, because there's no one around here. He's on 19 1,300 hit points. So I'm like, okay, I'm definitely going to reload 2 shells. I've now known he's taken his shot, so let's shoot all 3 shells. I've managed to reload all 3 shells. There's one nice 513 roll. But then we get a stupid bounce. What a stupid bounce that was. He was grey. What the hell? But now I know that there is tank coming behind me. I'm starting to move forward. I don't know what this E100 is actually doing. Like, he just doesn't want to know me. All this time, he hasn't wanted to know me at all. But because he's backed up, I'm quite happy here capping the base, because the enemy do have 2 caps and they are on over 700 supremacy points. So we do need to be very, very careful. So there's the STRVK. Again, let's try and get some damage. No, we can't. There's the Caro. We do get a lucky bounce, and that's our only bounce so far. We are getting shot from all directions, but at this point in time, like, I need to move, and I do want to go for this Caro. I know if I reload all 3 shells, I can take him out, but because he has more than 1 shell as well, it is going to be very difficult for me to be able to take him out. But at least we are winning on supremacy points now. He does take the shot. I am a 1 shot. Let's go for 1 more shot. At least we managed to get bring him down to a 1 shot. So it is a 3 versus 2. Hopefully this E100, can he take him out? Just shoot HE. No, he can't. But can the Yo? I mean, we could lose this, but unfortunately for the enemy team, our Rhinoceronte here has he has quite a lot of hit points. So he should be winning us this game very, very easily. So just the Caro left alive. So we done okay, considering we did actually do okay, just over 4k damage. And I think we done our part. We did do our part. It was just frustrating because the enemy didn't allow us to do well where we normally should do well. So actually we got 4.7k because of that blind shot on the E3. So let me know what you think of the Kranvagn. Let me know what you think of its changes in the comments as well. But for now, hope you enjoyed today's video. I'm meadsy69, and I'll catch you all soon. Bye bye.